up system, give yourself a little more ease in this earth school. So, don't save yourself some time and don't do my mistake. Anyway, so I did drop out of high school and I started thinking about life and things even at, very early. In grade 4, I'm not trying to brag, but I was always different. In grade 4, I was thinking, how can I stop existing? When I die, I keep existing. There's no other way around it. And all of a sudden, the teacher got me with a math question. Hey Lee, what's such and such? He knew I was daydreaming, and I'm like, so, be proud of yourself if you're someone that's not following the wolf pack. That is like the human way of going about it, like follow the good wolf pack of the spirit. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a very independent person. I call myself wolf shaman. It's a power animal and what it represents for me. And I have a lot of power animals. I like jaguars and eagles and all sorts of beautiful, beautiful expressions of the mind of the creator and the feeling and the surges. So the main thing is you really gotta be proud of yourself, and yet in a humble way. When you feel different, you feel called to something that's not the norm. Because if you feel you're not supposed to be part of it, it's because you're not, my dear. You're not supposed to be part of it. There's something bigger for you. That's not to feel better than them or hate them. They will have it in their time. Maybe you lived a few more lifetimes than them. It's simple as that. It could be an age thing or a waking up thing, either way. Sometimes the same, sometimes different. But if you feel lonely and, lost and confused, don't worry. You cannot stop existing. Nothing will stop God from loving you extremely. We can't even understand God's love for us right now. We don't have the capability. Our consciousness and our emotions, strong as it can be, it's nothing compared to that. I mean, God tolerates us so much, it's unbelievable, and loves us so much, and is proud of us. I want to tell you another beautiful secret. Some of you guys know this probably. The earth has been, this particular planet I'm talking about, not the many other ones, but this particular earth, as the story goes, has been made and destroyed a few times. Many religions and philosophies say this. The Druids and the Greeks, and I perhaps think that the Druids influenced the Greeks. Plato talked about the Atlanteans and a people far to the west. He was talking about those people, and he might have not that he couldn't figure it out on his own anyway. I'm not saying that, well, you can't know unless you heard it from, no, maybe he did. But anyway, Plato, which I love very much, I recommend anyone to read him and his work, especially The Republic. Very enlightening book. I love Plato so much. More than Aristotle, but I don't dislike Aristotle at all, of course. But the Druids and the Greeks and the Native Americans of the Americas here, and the East Indians, and many, 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 many all over the world understood this. The world is made and destroyed repeatedly. Souls come and go and live in human bodies repeatedly. And as they graduate, good, they're gone, a next generation will come. And those who didn't graduate will come back to resume. David Rockefeller and all these rich bankers who don't love people, they're not going to heaven and they're not going to hell. They're going to resume. This earth is like a hell in that sense. They're going to resume where they left off. They're going to have more experiences, more time. And here's another secret I'll share to you that is the truth. Excuse me very much. They will, upon their graduation time of the next earth creation, they will curse the people that they used to be. They will say, oh, those rich jerks, and how can they be so heartless? You were very much the same as that. You and me, what if we were very much that? Probably. That's why God loves everybody and says, I will make friends out of my enemies. I do not take pleasure out of your death, I take pleasure in your conversion. God says that in the Bible. Very true. That's why the hardest thing for us to do is to love even our enemies. We got to see our enemies as ourselves. The great, I will call him a prophet in his own right, the author Khalil Gibran, who wrote the famous book The Prophet, and he wrote other fiction and yet non-fiction books, let's put it that way. But I remember his particular beautiful wisdom in The Prophet, when he said that the evil you see, this is the gist of it, I can't quote it exactly because I don't remember, I haven't read it for a while, but he said, the evil you see in someone else that's very wretched, you also are technically capable of doing that too. Therefore love your brother and sister and feel for them. And the greatest good you see in someone else, you also are capable of it. Imagine if David Rockefeller, and I don't want to pick on that one particular soul, but he's known to be a too rich bankster, or whatever you want to call it. What if one day he woke up even in this life, and what is he, 96 years old in this 2011, I forget, and just said, flick, oh, that's not so good. Now he won't, but I'm just saying, imagine. And then spreading that wealth. This earth is used as a tool for us, as a building block, as a clay, to figure out ourselves. We are meant to love and respect it. But God also used the earth as a sacrifice for us and said, okay, I'll make it, it'll be perfect, it'll be, perfect cycles, it'll take care of itself. I'll introduce the souls that will be of mankind, although we used to be animals also. It's just a graduation process, spiritual evolution. I'm not talking about evolution of the Darwinian or whatever else sense, which is false, because it just is. And I'm not going to get into a big argument on that right now, because I don't even feel like it. It's so old and it's so fake, it's just not. The people that introduce that theory, they want you to think it's true, because they want to devalue you and me. You're just a little piece of crap. Your life's meaningless. Come on. You and I are feeling and thinking entities. That we are not the body. The body is our lowest, I call it in the mud. If you're reincarnated, you're born again, oh, back to the mud. Oh, back to the mud. Back to the clay. Anyways, self-experience. And here's my final thought, I suppose, for now. I don't know how long I can keep going, but our ability to express individually the one and the same truth as we get to know it more and more and more and more. It's the one and the same, and we will end up being so similar. You will always be you, I will always be me, in our expressive form, in our causal and super causal self. We are exactly this. Picture God as an ocean, and you and I are a drop taken out from the ocean. It's the same quality, the same thing, the same essence, the same being. But then there's the great, and then there's the individual expression. So in this sense, we are God, but we have to say we are micro-God. We are sons and daughters. And I don't want to put male and female again. I hate having to do that. We are children of that one. Like Christ said, I go to the Father is greater than I. He was going back to that ocean. He's speaking directly on behalf of the perfection of that ocean. I'm not talking about the church mistakes and lies and silliness. I'm talking about truth. And so that's very much it. Now, some things I've said may be hard for some people. If you want to comment, I may or may not have the time to write each and every single person, but I'll try here and there as I can. I'm very busy, and with a young family, things are tough, to find time, and working and all that too. But if things are difficult, test it out for yourself. It's funny to me that change usually comes about by violence, whether it's a destructive feeling in yourself and your whole life's upside down and you're, oh God, what can I do, or whether it's actual literal violence between people because ideas are clashing and we can't come to terms with things. It's not good to be aggressive. Remember the Star Wars movies talking about the Force. It's very true in that aspect, that use the good vibrations, use the good powers, and be sober, be clean, be sane. It's a matter of sanity. And then you have the dark vibrations and the lower level of violence, of hate, of fear. It's all based on fear and pride. And that is a lesser state of being. I see a lot of kids, I feel bad for you, teenagers and younger ones, bombarded nowadays in movies and such. It's cool to be the bad guy. No, not really. They want you to think like that because they don't give a crap about you. You want to hate everybody, you're going to be hated right back. It's a lose-lose situation. Conflict. Everybody loses. Some people think they win. You're not winning. You're staying in a mode of hate. You're a lizard, chameleon trapped in the multi-dimensional cube. Anyway, so personal experiences. A friend of mine is in the spirit world just dropped something over there. It sounded like keys. I'll go and check it out. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. And there's nobody here but me. Anyway, this is normal for me, I guess. But, so, another topic to come very soon, and I'm very honored to talk with anybody. I love everybody, even the bad ones, to the point. I mean, sometimes I get full of, I got that Irish wrath too. I get quick to be insulted or something like that, but you work on it. Calm down. So, personal experience. Go and look at things. Investigate for yourself. Don't be afraid to go away from the Bible. Don't be afraid to go away from Islam, the Quran, etc. I don't mean go away from it sucks and all, it's totally false and I'll look for it somewhere else. Take the good things from it, but enhance. I forgot to mention that, or I'm repeating myself again. My Afghanistan friend Hamid, he said, I don't respect a man of one book. Yes, brother, we both agree on that very much. If you just read one book and you think it's all, part and parcel, tied and perfect, ready to go, and you don't need anything else, no, my love, it doesn't work that way. How will you enhance your own belief if you're terrified to look at someone else's? By me reading the Quran, I didn't finish the book, to be quite honest with you, because I had enough friends that were of it and backgrounds, etc., that filled in the gaps for me. But I did read a huge chunk of it, and I saw the gist of it in that portion. Now, I have read the Bible front to back many times. I've read the Bhagavad Gita front to back many times. Personally, the Quran didn't interest me because it didn't have, once I had what I already had, it didn't give me that much more, is what I'm saying. But go from that and test it against your own belief, and your own belief could be very much enhanced. Your own belief could be made even more beautiful and more strong by looking at something else. But it can't be about fear, and it can't be about violence. You get someone's idea and go, hey, that doesn't suit me, so you want to conflict with them. No. I can tell the age of a soul by how they react, how they talk, how they rate. You put a short sentence full of hatred and name-calling. You're just young. Maybe you're an old soul in a young body and you're all frustrated. But I'll say to you, that's not you. That's what some other force wants you to be like. We are eternal spirit, we are truth, we are love. That's our nature, our real nature. So, I recommend meditation. I recommend getting into shamanics, although you have to be very careful, especially, I would say meditation is a lot safer than getting into shamanics, depending. I want to tell you one last thing, for now, because I can't make the video too long, depending on time. It's 12:45 where I am in my time zone, and my wife is coming back with my son soon. We all got the day off. My son's at daycare, he has to get used to it. But here's the thing. I did a meditation, I got very good at it in a short time. But at the very offset, it was very hard, because I expected nirvana, I expected to stop my thoughts. Don't expect anything, you're not going to get it. It's when you're not expecting nothing at all, thoughts coming and going, looking for your beingness, and then something very nice will come. One such experience I had, and I won't name a couple others, I don't have the time perhaps, but I sat in my living room on a chair, like I am now. People say you must meditate like this in the lotus posture with your hands like this or anything. No, that's somebody's style. Don't let them tell you how you want to do it. Maybe that's a good way to do it. Maybe it actually helps your chakras and your energy. Better? Well, if my spine is straight on a chair, maybe it's good enough. I've gone into some great things just like that. So you do the style that works for you. Don't pressure yourself to do somebody else's style. Don't let somebody else's style be imposed on you. Not when it's not helping you anyways. That's what I mean. If you want to aspire to it, take your time. No one's going to be an expert at anything right away. Anyway, I'm rambling. The point is, well, here's my experience. Sitting in a chair in the living room at my apartment, if you're, maybe mid-20s, 24, 25 years old or so. And I took an elevator ride in myself. 110% true story.